Want some help, maybe?
If we could make Zoom work any faster, that would be great.
Is that what
I
it
know
is?
very, yeah. It's just the Zoom server has to talk to the Facebook server. That's what takes a while.
I'd like to call to order this meeting of the Broome County Local Development Corporation of July 20th, 2022. And looking for a motion to approve the transcript of our June 15th, 2022 board meeting. Thank you, Dan. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Cheryl. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye. Any opposed? Carried. Come to the part of our agenda where we have a public comment session. Anybody wishing to speak on any matter concerning the local development corporation, feel free to state your name and address for the record and limit your comments to 5 minutes. Is there anybody else?
I don't think so. It doesn't appear so.
Yes, Michael Tanzini's joining again.
Okay. We'll call this public comment session to a close. New business. Resolution authorizing the demolition of the IBM Country Club located at 4301 Watson Boulevard in the town of Union, Broome County, New York by Northeast Construction Services, Inc., FKA La Chase Construction Services, LLC, in an amount not to exceed $1,974,000 pursuant to the June 30th, 2022 scope of work provided to the BC LDC, a copy of which is attached here to as Exhibit A.
Yes. Okay, so the only agenda item for today is a consideration of approval for the LDC to enter into a contract with La Chase, who would manage the demolition, ultimately the demolition of the former IBM Country Club on Watson Boulevard in Johnson City, in the town of Union, I should say. For our last meeting, the board had requested some additional information, additional quotes. We spoke with La Chase. They did seek, and there's a breakdown in your packet that was provided to the board. The numbers initially, the 1.9, did have Gorik's numbers, and you can see them broken out on this chart. And as well, La Chase reached out to LCP. They did not provide a bid on this. They also reached out to ZMK, who is also local, and they no longer do projects with asbestos. So in order to, felt it important to bring another quote to the table, they did reach out to AAC, which is based in Rochester, and you see their quote included in there. So with that, the recommendation would be to enter into a contract term that includes the breakdown of demolition numbers from Gorik Construction. This will enable us at the time of final review and approval by SHPO to begin the process of demolition. There is a scope of work that outlines the role that La Chase will play. They've also engaged with Delta engineers who will do some design services and air monitoring, and Gorik would do the construction, or excuse me, the demolition. I also did in governance did provide a brief update where we are with SHPO. We began our 30-day consultation just at the beginning of July. We provided them a copy of the condemnation letter and analysis from Delta engineers. We also provided them a copy of the final condemnation letter from the town of Union, and as well the recommendation from the county emergency services to not provide service to the building due to its dire situation. Those have been provided. They did come back and have required us to come up with a mitigation plan to basically to mitigate adverse effects of the demolition. A reminder, it is not a historical building, but it is eligible for the historic registry. Mitigation plan could include anything from signage, salvage of parts of the former, the current structure into the new design and new facility, essentially things that will honor the heritage of what currently stands. We've had great conversations. SHPO's been very easy to work with. They've been very responsive, and we expect we'll get that mitigation plan to them, probably before the end of this week, and expect a final note from them soon. So,
Thank you, Stacy. Mayor, governance,
Yes, it was considered in governance, and we move it forward as a motion to approve.
is there a second? Jim. Any discussion beyond that?
Thanks for getting that other quote on
My
that.
pleasure. No, I'm glad we did that. Yep, it worked out.
That said, let's have a vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Carried. Any old business? Looking for a motion to adjourn? Thank you, Dan.
I'll second it.
Second, Dan. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? We are adjourned.